Hi, my name is Will McKinley, and this is my submission for the informative speech assignment in Com 100 with Dr. Howell. Now, what I want to talk about today is something that I think is really an issue for people around my age and people all through their 20s, even. Now, the title of the presentation is called How to Get Out of Bed in the Morning, but what it really is how do you wake up in the morning with passion and actual excitement to get up and do the things you want to do, but also maybe the things you don't want to. I know things like getting up and doing my DQs for my online classes is not something I necessarily want to do, but it's something that I need to do to achieve my goals, right? And so, how do I actually practically remind myself of that? And not only that, but have an actual drive to get up and get it done. Um, so part of what got this sort of conversation going in my head and conversation with my friends, even we've had a lot of talk about it over the last honestly whole semester, was my servant leadership class. In topic 2, we talked about the Rokeach Values survey, which was developed by a man named Milton Rokeach. He studied and taught at Michigan State University, but there's not a ton documented about him other than a couple of experiments he ran. He was well known at the time in sociology, but more well known now for the Rokeach Values survey. Now, this survey, it splits your values into terminal values and instrumental values. Now, your terminal values are what are your actual goals? What are the things that are important to you in life? And it gets really raw. It gets down to not just, oh, I want to make money, blah blah blah. No, it's I want family security. I want a comfortable life, things like that, things that are really tangible, things that are really sort of primal in what we want and what we desire. And your instrumental values are, okay, what characteristics do I need to have to actually achieve those things? And I'll show you an example right now. So this is these are my results for how I filled out this survey. And if you decide to do this for yourself, what you're going to realize is it's actually a lot harder to fill out than you think it's going to be. Because, like what I did, I started at the top, right? We have a world at peace is the first terminal value. Now, that's going to be really important to a lot of people. And it was for me when I first started doing this. I was like, okay, that's like an obvious one. Like, I want everybody to be at peace. You rank this 1 through 18. And it's sometimes really hard to be like, okay, I need to put this at the number 15 spot. But as you go down the list, you're going to find, okay, some things are more important to me, even though all of these things are important. It's, no, I need to figure out what do I actually want? What are maybe my top 5 things? And then your instrumental values, again, are who do I need to be to achieve that? Now, something I think is that's really important to have that direction in life, to figure out what it is you want to do, whether it's career, hobbies, even just what you want to eat and drink every day. I think figuring out those things, figuring out those values in who you want to be are how you actually determine, what direction do I need to take to become the person I want to become. The clearer that picture is for you, the more you're going to be able to wake up and say, okay, these are the changes I need to make in my life. And later I'm going to talk about, okay, how do you actually implement those changes? How do you turn that into who you are? How do you take this ideal version of you and eventually say, okay, I'm much more like that person than I was when I was 20, 18, 19, whatever it is. Now, what I put here in the second bullet was reflect, review, reconsider, and repeat, because I think even if you fill this out once, you're still not going to get a full picture of what your actual top terminal and instrumental values are. I think it takes some revision to really find what they are. Now, the next is sort of practical methods of achievement, right? Is, okay, I can say all day that I want to be, let's say I break it down really far and say, I want to be a healthy person, I want to be fit. And let's say, okay, the way to achieve that is I need to work out 5 days a week. You can say that all you want. You can even get one workout in. Maybe you do it for a whole week, maybe 2 weeks. But how often have you had a goal and had a way you're going to achieve that goal and then you burn out extremely quickly? And that's because it's all about forming habits. It's about getting those neural connections that are actually, it's not just wake up and, oh, I need to go to the gym. It's no, my routine is I wake up, I go to the gym, I come home, I eat something. It's, it needs to be instinctual. That's how you actually turn something into a habit that's going to help you achieve something. Now, something that James Clear talks about in Atomic Habits, one of my favorite books, he talks about the real access to change within yourself is not just sheer will of mind. In fact, it's practically zero will of mind. It's not that I'm just gonna, unless I already have some insane discipline from other achievements that I've made. You're not gonna be able to just say, I'm gonna work out 5 days a week. I'm gonna get it done. No, it takes actual environmental change. Like, let's say your issue in the morning is, oh, I get on my phone and I doom scroll for 2 hours, and that takes away too much time, and so I can't get to the gym in the morning. Then an example of an environmental change is, and maybe this is extreme for some people, but put your phone in the living room when you go to sleep so that that's not an option. You can't just lay in bed. I'm talking about making actual serious practical changes that are going to force you to form habits, not just your will of mind and say, okay, I'm not going to do that. It has to be something more than that. And this is that book I was talking about, Atomic Habits with James Clear. And another one of his major points is when you want to change something about yourself, or when you want to break a habit or form a habit, it has to become part of your identity, not just a desire to change, right? It has to be, this is who I am, not just what I want, to become the actual ideal you. And now that's a tough thing, and I wish I had more time to talk about it because this is something I could talk forever about. Um, but I hope that at least some of that's helpful for you guys. And thank you very much.